Coach, coming off the bye week, just bye week chance to reset, chance to work on yourselves, I'm guessing. What was kind of the focus of this one for you guys, and what do you feel like you got out of it?
Yeah, it's a great question. Like you said, it was Bearcat week. Worked on us, quite a bit. And obviously worked on UCM, quite a bit as well. But it was more a chance for me to, get through a midseason, analysis of okay, what are we good at? What are we not good at? And where have we got room for improvement? What are teams going to attack us at? And self-scout big, and then also to evaluate, okay, what's our team like? And then how's our senior leadership going to handle this bye week? And I was pleased with it. I really was. I kind of didn't make a big deal out of it Monday. I was probably a little Friday morning before we went. The kids got about 48 hours out, and we wanted to make sure Friday morning we were practicing the right way. So a little extra motivation. But I thought they did a really good job. I was really excited about the way the kids practiced, and then just trying to get your bodies right, from that standpoint, because we got, we're almost at a halfway point, and we got a lot to go. So it was a good week from my standpoint.
Turn the page to UCM. They've obviously been explosive offensively. Two different quarterbacks. Omalo's come back, and he's looked good now. What have you seen from UCM on both sides of the football so far?
Yeah, on offense, the Omalo started the year, and he's a tremendous talent. I mean, he's got his quicker releases. We'll see. Then they, I think, right towards the end of the Pueblo game, they brought the red shirts, there's a senior in that's a transfer, and he started 2 games and he got hurt, and Omalo comes back in, and it's a tribute to their coaches that offense keeps rolling. They put them in good spots, and Coach Hawk's done a good job getting them in the right spots, and doing it. And then defensively, they were last in the country in a lot of stats, and Coach Wright's gone there and done what Coach Wright does, and their defense is a lot better from that, and is it just takes time. Just like, we're in the same boat. Anytime you're a new coach and you're doing new things, it takes a second. You're going to have mistakes, and it's just, do teams take advantage of those mistakes or not? And we're going to try and hopefully take advantage of, if they make a mistake or two, hopefully we can take advantage of it. But they're much improved. They're at the top of the conference for a reason.
Chris, you've gone against a defense that runs similar schemes now for 4 years of practice. What's that like going in? Obviously, they know your personnel, at least Rich does, and kind of what he wants to accomplish defensively. How do you see that kind of playing out in this game?
I think it'll be kind of a chess match, just because, like you said, it's something we've practiced against for a long time, and so Coach Wright's a great coach, and so he has that defense for a certain way because it works. I'm sure he'll have some change-ups for us, so I think it'll just kind of be a feel-out process at the beginning of the game, and then, we just got to make plays whenever we get put in those situations.
Chris, we know it's there. We know we're going back. We're facing our old coach, right? I mean, talk about that feeling inside, and then what does it take to kind of maintain that locker room still, where that tunnel vision right here, we're not letting it get more personal than it is. We're not letting outside factors be at play. What has kind of been that leadership factor you kind of taken going into this week? Like, hey, this is Bearcat football moving forward.
Like you kind of said, we just have to be focused on us. We can't make it about anything other than ourselves, or else you start trying to do too much. We just want to play within ourselves, because we know if we play as best as we can, we have a good chance of winning. So, just making sure everyone's focused on the task at hand, not any outside factors.
Coach Mack, you also have a relationship with the head coach there, obviously. Lambo and you sharing a quarterback room back in the day. What's that like going into a matchup with somebody you know so well? And you got any Lambo stories for us from back in the day?
Yeah, I do.
Same as just like Scott.
I've got got a bunch of them. Playing against Lambo and Coach Hawk and those guys, it's a bragging rights game, obviously, when you see them again, but it's two friends that it's the way it is. It's like when the game's played, it's like you want to beat the tar out of them, and then when it's over, we'll shake hands, we'll move on and go, and they're fun. You respect what they do. I think that's probably the biggest thing as I've gotten older, is it's it's not really personal. I mean, everybody's doing their job and they're coaching to win. It's like you just want to, do a little bit better and make sure you get those W's. But I respect what they're doing, what he's done, the way it is. He's, really got them going. I mean, they've had a great 3-year run now, with them. And so, Coach Hayden Hawk was the quarterback there with Boda, right at the end there when we got there. And then, Coach Holtzclaw, their O-line coach, was a former Bearcat, and then Neil Novak I coached with in Wayne and then was here. So there's 5-6 coaches, and Coach Wright, obviously. So it's there. Lamberson I was probably glad, he wasn't a year older. Otherwise I probably wouldn't have played. But, he came in and he was a freshman that, showed up I think he showed up in like a Firebird, he was from small town. He had this fast car, and he was like, you picture Maverick and Top Gun, Lambo right there. And then sure turned into it, he's a great player and even better person. So, glad to call him a friend, but we'll play Saturday and they're not going to give us any help. They're going to try and kick our butts. So, hopefully we come out on top.
Coach, I'm not sure if it's an anomaly here in the MIAA, but you look school after school after school, you see relationships over and over and over again. And I'm not sure if it's like that in your experiences in the Division I level, but just talking about the MIAA as a whole, is that something that really raises your level of effort on the sideline? Is that something that kind of lives in the back of your mind, that you got someone over on the sideline that you've got a relationship that you've known for 20 years? I mean, what does that do to you on the sideline for a game day?
Yeah, I would say it affects us more probably more outside of a game. On game day, it's kind of you are what you are. You got to call your best game you can. But for me, it was always like I just don't want anybody to outwork me, or out-recruit or, have something that they're doing better than me that drives you, And there's such a, there's an influx of Bearcats throughout the league, and then there's an influx of, gorillas. And, it's just like when great staffs are put together and they branch out, it's usually a head coach that brought a good one together. I'll give you an example. When I was at University of Nebraska at Omaha, when I was just your age, 28, started, maybe I'm going to coach. I wanted to be a banker too, so be careful. You might be coaching someday. And Pat Burns was the head coach, and on the staff was Lance Leipold, Terry Samuel, Chris Simpson, Taiwo Anatolu, myself, and I'm trying to think if I'm missing somebody there. Oh, Scott Fuchs, and so so let's fast forward, to today, on that staff, and Connor Riley was also on that staff, So the two O-line coaches were Connor Riley and Scott Fuchs, Division II school. So Scott Fuchs, the O-line coach for the Titans. Connor Riley was just hired as he went from OC at K-State to the Cowboys offensive line coach. Lance Leipold's the head coach at Kansas. Taiwo Anatolu is also at Kansas. Chris Simpson's at Kansas. Chris Klein's the head coach at K-State. He went from UNO to North Dakota State. The DC was at UNO. And so that's cool. That's that staff, and you're like, man, there you go. But you learn from those people, and then it permeates, and you take a lot of those, traits everywhere with you. And so I think that's a good thing, but it also, knows, well, if they know what I know, and then what a little edge can I get, or how can I outwork them, or try and put us in a better spot. So it definitely makes it competitive, makes it fun, and it's, in this conference, everybody's good, so, you just got to make sure you try and keep up with the Joneses, if you will.
Obviously, Chris, you're halfway through your senior season. How has Coach McMenamin impacted your last season here?
It's been great. Obviously, with the coaching change, there's a lot of unknown. And so I think it's pretty cool to see how many seniors stuck around, because we obviously trust in Coach Mack. We trust in each other. And so it's been great so far. And so I think we just got to keep building on it. We all trust in Coach Mack so much. He's put us in a lot of good positions to win games. And so just keep doing what we've been doing.